Have you ever thought to yourself, or maybe even said to yourself, having a seven-figure business must just not be for me? I know that God said it was going to happen. Other people have confirmed it, but it hasn't happened yet, so it must not be for me. If you've ever had those thoughts or said that, this video is for you. I'm going to share 4 things that may be the reasons why you haven't had a seven-figure business yet. So one of the things that we love as believers is knowing that God is not a man and he cannot lie. If he said it, it will come to pass. And what we also love as believers is knowing that God owns time. He's above time. He's not limited to time. But what happens when God tells us something and we don't see it in the time frame that we anticipated would happen? We tend to be filled with doubt. We may think it's not possible for me or it's not for me because it hasn't happened yet. So when we think those thoughts and say those thoughts, we are basically saying that God is a liar. Because the truth of the matter is God can do more in a minute than we can do in a lifetime. And when we are thinking the wrong thoughts, we are basically cutting ourselves off. And that's one of the reasons, reason number 1, why it may not have happened to you yet. Because your thoughts are cutting yourself off. You're already telling yourself that it's not possible for me. And because we live out of our mind, if you are thinking those thoughts, then you are speaking that and you are demonstrating that in everything in your business, whether you are aware of that or not. So reason number 1 that it may not have happened yet, you having a seven-figure business, is that your thoughts are not abundant. They're not aligned with God's word and what he told you. Reason number 2 is you don't have the right skill sets. Now, selling is one of the key skills that you need to have a seven-figure business. It's not the only skill, but it's one of the key skills that you need. And selling, the skills that you need to have a 4-figure business, the selling skills that you need to have a 5-figure business, the selling skills that you need to have a 6-figure business are quite different than the selling skills that you need to have a 7-figure business. So let me ask you a question. Have you been developing your sales skills? Have you been developing the skills that you need to have a 7-figure business? And you might clearly just not have developed the sales skills that you need to have a 7-figure business. That's why it may not have happened yet. So, reason number 1, you don't have the thinking, or you're not thinking the way of a 7-figure business owner. Reason number 2, you don't have the sales skills of a 7-figure business owner. And then reason number 3, and there's 4, is you don't have the right support. You may not have the right coach, the right mentor, and these are not the only type of support, but these are critical supports. I can remember when I left my corporate CPA job and started my professional coaching business. And one of the mentors I had said, your fee should be $500 an hour. And I was like, what? I couldn't fathom it because I was having what is often characterized as stinking thinking, right? I didn't have the right thoughts about myself. And quite honestly, I didn't know anything about pricing for value and pricing for my expertise. And I remember him saying, well, how much do you think PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, was billing you at? Like, Althea, you have a CPA, you worked at PricewaterhouseCoopers, you have X, Y, and Z, you have, experience and knowledge. This is the fees that you should be charging. If I needed a coach and a mentor to help me understand how to market myself in the business. And I remember Jeff Williams was my first business sales coach. And I remember I had an event, and the event was successful, and I made an offer at the end of the event and no one bought. And he was like, not a problem. You remember, I told you to get their names and their emails, call everyone up. And I was like, okay. And I called, and 90% of the people enrolled in my offer after the event because I had the right support. I had the coach and the mentor who could see what I couldn't see and give me the skills to develop. Now that's early on. And I can go on about other mentors and other times that I thought I can charge 30,000. I don't how is that possible? And having a coach help me with the skills to sell a $30,000 offer, not only sell, but enroll clients in my $30,000 offer. So number one, you don't have the right thinking, or we can say the right mindset. Number two, you don't have the right skill set. Number three is you don't have the right support. And number four is you are not the person yet. What do you mean, Althea? You have not yet become the business owner that God created you to be. What do you mean about that? If you've been here anytime soon, if you've been here, you know how much I love the book of Joshua. And I love just Joshua's spirit, Joshua and Caleb, but I love Joshua's spirit. And Joshua and Caleb were the minority of their colleagues who had the right thinking when they went to spy out the land. But Joshua had to go through a process of becoming the leader to help them cross over the Jordan and take possession. And, that there was a period of time, and we see right before he's taking over the leadership of his mentor Moses, God is encouraging him. God is reminding him, and God is laying out the blueprint in very clear terms of what he needs to do to be successful. And then he goes on and gives him a clear strategic plan. Joshua had to become the leader to take possession of the land. And that had to happen on God's time. So the fourth reason why you haven't achieved seven figures yet is likely you haven't become the person that you need to be to have a seven-figure business. Listen, I want to hear below which of the four reasons you are wrestling with now that you know that you need to level up, right? You need the right mindset, the right thinking, you need the right skill sets, you need the right coach, and you need to become the business leader that God created you to be so that you can have the seven-figure business that he promised that you would have. Share it in the comments below. And listen, I have a free training that you absolutely need to take advantage of. And it's the 7 biggest mistakes keeping female entrepreneurs from seven figures. These are mistakes that I've seen in my clients after working as a coach for over 15 plus years. And these are mistakes that you may not even realize that you're making that is cutting you off from God's promises and robbing you of a fortune. So you want to make sure to take advantage of this free training. Just go to the description and you'll see a link so that you can have free instant access now. I can't wait to continue the conversation below and hear which of the 4 reasons you believe has stopped you from is why you haven't had 7 figures yet. And remember, God is not a man. He cannot lie. And with God, all things are possible. Okay, if you receive value from this video, make sure to like it, make sure to share it so other female entrepreneurs just like us can change the way they think and have their thoughts line up with God's thoughts so that they can have what God promised them. I'll see you next time. Okay, bye for now. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when we release a new video. Then click the TV to watch the next video. Go to altheamcintyre.com to get your free training on the 7 biggest sales mistakes that keep you from 7 figures.